welcome to the July the 15th, 2003 taping of It Happened in Grand Prairie. As we bring you the history of our city and some of the people that made history in the past and some that are continuing to make history today. This is our Magic History tape number 492, and we are really delighted today. We are bringing a historical happening that only happened a couple or 3 days ago, but it took a whole year to prepare for what happened a few days ago. And we're very delighted to bring on the dais today, first of all, Tammy Chan. Tammy, with the City of Grand Prairie, Texas, a most important lady, and has just many titles that work in so many different ways, and we're glad to have you with us today.
Thank you, Miss Ruthie.
And you have on a Keep Grand Prairie Beautiful, Clean Campus Coordinator shirt. And you have brought another one of those beautiful shirts with you with a beautiful young lady in it. And we're so pleased, Anna Ferguson, to have you on the set today. Thank you for sharing your life with us enough to come today and make an impact on the City of Grand Prairie's history.
I hope
because
so.
you really did bring about history. Now, before I let Anna talk about the wonderful award that she has in her archives now, I'd like for you to tell a little bit about her portion of Keep Grand Prairie Beautiful, and then we're going to let her tell her story. Would that be acceptable, Miss Tammy?
That would be terrific, because that's an important point. Thank you, Miss Ruthie. In Keep Grand Prairie Beautiful, we have a program called the Clean Campus Program. It's a partnership between the Grand Prairie School District and the City of Grand Prairie, and it's Keep Grand Prairie Beautiful program. And Dr. Barbosa has been so supportive and allowed us to launch this with the schools, and each school appoints a coordinator to be a liaison between Keep Grand Prairie Beautiful and the initiatives we're trying to impart with regard to environmental stewardship with young people, the educators themselves, and their parents. Ms. Ferguson here today is the Clean Campus Coordinator for Grand Prairie High School. She has a co-coordinator, Sean O'Donnell, and the support of a lot of teachers, but she comes every single meeting that we have where we meet regularly with the Clean Campus coordinators, and I keep encouraging them to document what they're doing throughout the year, because there's awards that could be won to gain recognition for their students and their partners, and they do so much. And Miss Ferguson listened this year, and she really documented. I mean, it made
You think she made an A?
A plus, plus, plus,
Oh.
plus. Really made me cry looking at her pictures, and she submitted an award application to the Keep Texas Beautiful Youth Leadership Program that has the Ruthie Jackson name on it. You underwrite that, and just because you do that, which we're grateful for, doesn't mean we get a break. It was stiff competition, and she aced it, and I'm real proud of that. So
that's wonderful. And bringing about the first place award for the City of Grand Prairie in the secondary schools all over the state. You were #1. Is that exciting to you, Miss Anna?
Yes, it is. It really is. I feel that I may have made the grade, but that my students really made the grade this year.
That's wonderful. And how did you receive your message? You were the winner.
Well, my Miss Chan notified Dr. Vern Alexander, and he in turn notified my principal, Mr. Buddy Berry, and he actually came to me after school.
Buddy Berry came?
Yes, came to my room, and I had about 20 plus kids in a tutorial session, and he gave me the great news, and he seemed happy, and I was elated. So it was just.
Now, we need to set the background. You teach science at Grand Prairie High School campus, and tell us about your class. What all you teach in your science area?
I have, I have several sections. I have advanced placement, environmental science, which I have almost all seniors for. This year I had 18 seniors for the class of, senior class of 2003. And then I also teach mostly sophomores for an integrated physics chemistry.
That's wonderful.
But,
some of the hard stuff.
Oh,
yes, some of the hard stuff. Yes.
Well, maybe a little bit, but everyone loves science.
Yes.
I think deep down, everyone has a little bit of a love for science.
Yes.
So I've really found my love in the environmental area.
All right. Now, when did you hear about the award prospect? In other words, how did you find out that there was an award with Keep Texas Beautiful for youth, and how did you begin preparing? And tell us what you did.
Well, I of course, have attended and been a part of the Clean Campus program since the very beginning of it, and have been the coordinator for Grand Prairie High School. And Ms. Chan has worked with us, and like she said, she's tried to keep us informed, and she'd tell us, you know, what was available, but you get so wrapped up in doing what you're doing that sometimes you fail to document what you do. And this year I made an extra effort, thanks to her advice, and
log it all.
And logged it. I just logged everything and documented everything, and so I had a record of all of the activities that my kids had been involved in, and all of the coordination that we did within Grand Prairie High School. That was with all of the different programs, National Honor Society, and SET, which is Students Empowerment Team. And
what do you call your group?
Mine are the APES.
APES?
APES, that's our nickname, yes.
And that is an acronym for what?
Advanced Placement Environmental Science.
Oh, how wonderful. That's great.
So we've worked with everyone, and my team this year actually, or my students, that class was responsible for, in the application that Ms. Chan made us aware of, I was able to explain how my class was responsible for encouraging all of the different groups within Grand Prairie High School to be stewards, environmental stewards.
So y'all weren't alone. You had the whole team working on it.
We had everyone.
All of the gophers in the world.
As many as we could. And like I said, National Honor Society, Student Council, Functional Skills, the special education who helps with the paper recycling area, and just as many on campus as we could involve. And that's what the kids won their award for, was being stewards, you know, of the environment.
Stewards. All right, what were the main couple of 3 projects that you all did during the year?
Well, I have to say that the key project had to be our work with the wetland preserve mitigation. And that, let me explain that just a little bit. Several years ago, we started the development of the 9th grade centers on the high school level.
Yes.
And when we did that at Grand Prairie High School, we had to move our athletic track facility, and so we moved it adjacent to the school. And in the process of developing that, we encountered actually a wetland area, which was a natural preserve.
Yes.
And so we worked with Corps of Engineers, an environmental firm, to mitigate and make sure that we didn't encroach on any environmental,
some of their good rules.
Well, anything that would step on any environmental toes.
Yes.
And it was wonderful because we were able to save the area, and it is now a wetland preserve that has become our school habitat.
And it's off limits to everything else.
It's
yes. Can your students go down into there and do research?
Oh yes, that's the plan, is to eventually develop that even more, so that we will have. We've done water testing there. We've done plant identification. We've saved and planted. And
you're going to outdo Kirby Creek, aren't you?
No.
That's the program we're going to have. On the north side, we're going to have your habitat, and on the south side, Kirby Creek and the Science Center.
I just hope
Thank you for doing that.
I hope that we can keep up with everything that has been happening over there. Miss Hollis does a fabulous job there,
Yes.
and it's wonderful now to have something on the other side
that you can hang your hat on.
Yes, and we have our own playground, environmental playground for the students and for other teachers. The biology programs, the AP and pre-AP biology programs to do their water testing and plant identification, and it's just a wide open area.
And you keep it clean, don't you?
Oh yes. The projects that you asked me about, that's been our main focus, has been the cleanups in coordination with the other groups, and it's been very successful. And I have to say that also, along with the wetland mitigation, the paper recycling program,
Yes.
let's see,
Adopt a stream.
Adopt a Stream, our Earth Foundation T-shirt sales, everything that, you know, our timeline. We focused on 200 years of environmental history, and we made a timeline that my class did that went all the way around one whole hall section. And
Now, when we can tie you in, and you can become the first spur that ties in with the Lone Star Trail of the Trinity River, the West Fork of the Trinity River, wouldn't that be really great? We may have to win a prize on that in the very near future. But I want you to show them your entry in the Youth Awards for. Can you hold that up where Juliana can see
Yes,
this without a glare and everything?
It has
Is
10 pages of supplemental materials.
yes.
Chock full of pictures that she did the documentation on. And the thing is, Miss Ruthie, you have to do these things to write about them.
Yes.
Writing about them's hard, but doing them, Miss Ferguson's application made me cry. It was
You're too
beautiful. You want
kind.
to show your pictures?
We did the written application, and then we filled this. I included everyone school-wide. It is many projects as we had done.
Keep continuing
the
the
tree,
praises.
the landfill planting, the tree planting, Arbor Day, the before and after cleanups at the wetland, our timeline.
Adopt a stream.
Adopt a
Boost,
Stream,
Student Council.
and then our amazing trips. We took several field trips to Dallas World Aquarium, Abitibi Consolidated, and then Lockheed Martin through the corporation of Jim Berry and Mr. Brent Berryman helped us corporately and added
that
to our
possible.
funds and made it possible for us to visit Fossil Rim.
Yes.
And so many exciting environmental endeavors that we had. So it was really well worth all of our effort and our documentation. And
The pictures on the front and back are from the wetland.
yes, they
Miss
are.
Ferguson took 'em.
This is actually in our 2 adopted pets so
Yes.
far.
Yes.
We plan to have turtle boxes and butterfly gardens and
Yes.
follow all of the wetland mitigation rules. So.
That is just wonderful. And you have, that stream goes right on down toward the Trinity River, so you have a ready-made scene for a spur to the Lone Star Trail.
I hope so. That is something to really project to in the future and look forward to.
Maybe that
being
could
a
win
part
us
of it.
another prize, Tammy, do you think?
Yes, ma'am.
We're going to work on that.
I'm making mental notes.
And Anna, how many students were there actually actively involved in your year's work of this?
If I could include all the Gophers, and I would have to say at least, besides the total involvement of my 18 seniors, an active involvement of approximately 1,200 of our student body.
That are really aware
Just aware and
of environmental
working-
issues?
Right, and working with us environmentally that have added to the efforts of the apes.
Uh-huh.
So-
And how have you rewarded them? Just with good words yet? Or do you have any kind of buttons that you wear that we won? Or
Not yet, we're working on that. We got shirts, and
Yeah.
of course, I had 13 of the seniors that had already left me that
Yeah.
came back for the award presentation last week
yes,
in
I
Dallas.
thought that was outstanding.
We're
And-
recognizing them tonight at City Council
Yes.
and go to the school board. And Miss Ferguson and a student got to go to Washington with us for the All-America City.
Yes. So it's been a fun year, hasn't
Oh, it has. It's been really a remarkable one that will stand out in my teaching career, and I will never forget this class. I'll never forget this year. I'll never forget anything about it.
Yes.
So.
And you had the support of Mr. Berry and the school and the school system, Superintendent Barbosa, and all of those that were involved.
So many, and I can't thank everyone. It's
What did the school system think about you winning first prize? I believe you're the first school that has ever won first prize.
South Grand Prairie won it several years ago.
Several years ago. Okay. I missed that lick.
Well, we were excited, and we feel, you know, I'm very thankful to everyone that took part and helped us toward this, you know, final.
What you gonna do next year?
Even more.
Even more.
Even more.
All right, Tammy, do you like to hear that?
Yeah, I do. We're going to have to make some nominations for the Sadie Ray Graff Educational Leadership Award.
I wondered about that.
Yeah, have to pull that together. And I wanted to say, too, that although Ms. Ferguson participates in our Clean Campus program, it wasn't the Clean Campus program that won. It was the Advanced Placement Environmental Science class of 2003. They are the epitome of environmental steward leadership that we're looking for. And I'm proud of how you corralled them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. They were easy to work with because they were just an outstanding group. And I had so much, like I said, Ms. Chan, Ms. Hollis, Mr. Berryman and Lockheed, and my corporation of Mr. Berry, and all my principals, and so many of the science department that was, you know, right there helping me every inch of the way, and I couldn't have done it without all those people.
Well, Lockheed Martin is really fortunate to have Mr. Berryman, because as an active member of the Chamber of Commerce, this story doesn't stop here. It goes on, and it gets told at the Chamber of Commerce, it gets told in other arenas, and we're just so pleased for the mark that you have made for the city of Grand Prairie, and something that is so near and dear to my heart that I've been on that board of Keep Texas Beautiful when in 1967, 68-ish, and
Wow.
it was a thrill to me to see you come with first place in the Youth Awards. But now, Tammy, we're going to have a little time left for you, because not only were you responsible for seeing that the Youth Award was a winner, but you have a couple of 3 other winners, first place even in the city. So let's talk about that and tell everyone how excited we were about that.
Thank you, Ms. Ruthie. I'm still shaking about it all. This, like Ms. Ferguson said, it's a career high. We were so blessed to have so many great partners that made our program a success. We've been building up for it for a long time. Your great ideas and keeping us busy. I have to tell y'all, she did an adopted street cleanup and brought a bag of trash to my office and said, "Could you get a school to inventory this?" You remember that?
I remember.
And she didn't tell me there was a diaper in the bag, and was in my office the whole weekend. The next Monday, I was in trouble with my coworkers. But that's how you spur us on, you keep us going. And as a result of all of these partnerships, I want to mention a few that helped us to win this big award.
And tell us what the award is, first of all.
Okay, we won the governor's first place in Category 8, which is our population category of Texas cities between 100,000 and 250,000. We won first place in the Governor's Community Achievement Award, and we get a piece of $1 million to use to beautify the city of Grand Prairie from the Texas Department of Transportation. Our piece of that $1 million is $155,000, and it's going to help us go a long way towards beautifying. Looks like the Keep Grand Prairie Beautiful Commission is gearing up towards a partnership with the Beltline Corridor Task Force. Put it up there at I-30 and Beltline to beautify it, hopefully in advance of the Breeders' Cup and the World coming to Grand Prairie. So we're really excited about that. We're making a presentation to council today during the briefing about how to maybe spend these shekels. And the partnerships that helped us to move this project forward, of course, the city. Keep Grand Prairie Beautiful is a city agency. Some Keep City Beautiful programs are nonprofit organizations, but we're actually housed by the city, and that's a great support. We couldn't have done anything like we did without having the resources, the office, a staff person to help with it. And then probably 85% of our budget comes from donations, and more significantly, grants from the Texas Quality on Environmental Commission, pass-through grants from the North Texas Council of Governments. We have over $100,000 of active grants right now that pay for my dump truck, pay for our safety vest. The shirts came from the grants, so that's a big deal. We partner with the GPISD, the Chamber of Commerce, and several city departments. Just so important to me to make sure people know that it wasn't Keep Grand Prairie Beautiful or alone that did it. It was also neighborhood revitalization, Parks Department, Code Enforcement, Environmental Services, Public Works, Water Utilities, even trying to beautify the water well sites, the Transportation Department, and their partnership with us in planning for the streetscaping program, engineering, planning, marketing, the Beltline Corridor Task Force, City Manager's Office, the newspaper for supporting us,
Yes.
this cable station and all your shows. We got 135 hours, which counts towards our award application. Thank you so much, Ms. Ruthie.
You're
And of
getting
course-
another 30 today and 30 next week.
Yes, ma'am. We get to count how many times you show it too. And then the city council, it goes all the way down from the mayor, city, city council, city manager, and if I can, I'll tell you a few things that we did to accomplish this.
Go for it.
Okay, and give me a warning on when I should go to the next one.
Juliana will give us a warning when it's time.
Well, we have 22 neighborhoods that participate in our Clean and Beautiful Neighborhood program, and it started with the Dalworth Link Clean and Beautiful Neighborhood Subcommittee, and this program has just blossomed, and each neighborhood does their own picture of what they want to do to clean up and beautify, incorporating Adopt a Street, Adopt a Stream, all our programs in it. We have 9 city council appointed commissioners that meet with us monthly to direct these programs. We have 9 subcommittees, and boy, they keep these initiatives hopping. The Clean Campus program as a whole, all the schools that participate in it, recycle 498 tons of paper, and that saved approximately 8,471 trees.
Oh,
and
what a blessing.
1,494 cubic yards of landfill space. So that ends up saving the taxpayers money over time. We got 1,336 column inches of news coverage, did over 377,000 brochures. This next one, 37 presentations before the public.
Oh, that's a
town
busy.
halls, whatever it was. Our commissioners were a great support in that. Just sitting down. 13,650 volunteer hours last year. That's like 8 full-time people out there saving the taxpayers' dollars if we had to pay that money to do that.
Yes.
They spent 4,612 hours picking up litter. We hosted 22 large citywide grassroots cleanups, resulting in 116 tons of little pieces of litter, 116 tons of it being bagged by our volunteers. We also partnered with the Parks Department. They did 657 tons of litter in the parks to keep our city clean. We don't even have to adopt out of the parks because our Parks Department does such a good job. And then we hire Goodwill under the leadership of Ruthie Bracken. They cleaned 1,239 miles of streets and removed 1,117 tons of litter. Again, some of that's larger stuff, but gosh, think how much cleaner our city is because of all these efforts. And we were able to launch, as a result, our litter-free hotline, where if you see litter on an arterial like Carrier or 303 and it needs to be picked up, give us a call at 972-237-8330, and we can try to get that picked up within 48 hours.
Do
except on
that one
weekends.
more time slowly so they can pick that up.
972-237-8330.
That's the litter hotline.
Litter-free hotline, and if you call it, you see litter on a main arterial, call us. We'll try to get it picked up within 48 hours. And then the second thing is, if you see someone smoking a cigarette or litter flying out of the back of a truck, call us with that license plate, and we'll connect to the state's Gotcha program through TxDOT and report them, and they'll get a letter of warning.
How about graffiti?
Graffiti, thank you to Building Services, the City of Grand Prairie, within 48 hours for a call to our graffiti abatement hotline, which I can't remember, Ms. Reed.
That's all right.
Sorry. You can call my number for now, and we'll come back with the correct number. It's 972-237-8152. Sorry, I'll get that correct one. And what they can do is have that graffiti removed within 48 hours. That's so important to keep that graffiti off because
At no expense to the person that has been graffitied.
that's right. They have to sign a release, a
Yes.
property release, allowing us to access the property. Our Adopt a Street and Adopt a Spot programs are, to me, the meat and potatoes of our group. We couldn't do anything without their support. And we have groups that have been doing this for almost 2 years without their signs. The Disabled American Veterans, the Lions Club, and because we have grant funding to try to get out there and get some more signs out. So They're going to hopefully be out by August. We really appreciate all that you've done out there without your signs, and we'll find a way to recognize you for that. 1,228 Adopt a Stream volunteers gave 2,576 hours and conducted 308 cleanups over the year.
And that's in the streams that relate.
No, that's the streets. Now
the streets.
I have a record-setting year for the streams. And
Let's have about the streams. You know, that's my pet project.
I do. We had 271 Adopt a Stream volunteers representing 13 groups. We're up this year. 13 groups.
Oh, great.
They worked 921 hours. And listen to this. Last year we did 3.5 miles of creeks. We did 8.4, a new record.
More than,
I don't know if we can do it again, but we'll try. Thank you to the Grand Prairie Youth Services Boot Camp. Those kids have moved a mile over time. They have been a great supporter of us. Code enforcement and their illegal dumping program, Officer Joseph Graves under the leadership of Steve Collins, identified 287 dumping locations. Joseph is now a peace officer and can help with investigations, 9 Class C misdemeanors, and 2 cases above a Class C. Oh, Ms. Ruthie, there's so much more. Our beautification, our art program, our new streetscaping program, which means trees will be added to every new road project that the city builds with irrigation, our shade keepers who are helping to do inventories on these and older trees. There's so much more. I didn't get to the code award.
Yes, well, we're going to have the code to come back with you at a later time, and that way we'll recognize them fully, because you just couldn't leave out some of these other good things that have been just so appreciated by all of the Texans that came to the Keep Texas Beautiful presentation of the Governor's Award, and it was really wonderful. And is there anything else special that you want to forecast for next year?
Well, our hope is to further the Clean Company program, Ms. Ruthie.
That's something new, isn't it?
It's a partnership with the Chamber of Commerce, and there's 5 levels. If a company signs up and becomes a 5-star Clean Company, we have incentives built in. It works kind of like the Clean Campus program, where we'll meet regularly with people from the clean companies. And eventually, maybe 2005, we could do a Clean Builder program. It is so needed in Grand Prairie with all these new homes being built. If the builders will use green materials, if they'll keep their building sites clean, if they'll use energy efficient appliances. So these are some savvy things that we're looking forward to doing, and thank you to the Chamber for helping us with that.
That's wonderful. Y'all have been such an exciting reporting twosome. I'm so very proud of the city of Grand Prairie, because it was 1991 when we won the Governor's Awards the last time. It's been a dry spell up until 2003, and you blew the top off, Tammy.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you to your Keep Grand Prairie Beautiful and all of the workers that really fell at your feet and worked whenever you said work and stopped when you said stop. And I'll tell you, Miss Anna, I'm really, really proud of the Grand Prairie High School. And
thank you so much, Ms. Ruthie.
One of the things, and I want you to look out and in a half minute thank everyone that helped you win the award, and I want you to do the same, because she's going to wind me down in a minute.
Okay. You're first.
You're first. Thank anybody for helping you.
I just want to say thank you to everyone that has been a part of our program, and we have so much more to do, and it's greatly appreciated.
Wind up quickly.
Thank you to my boss, the city manager's office, Don Wilson, Tom Hart, you for making this all happen, the volunteers. Thank you to Solid Waste Environmental, so I'll keep going. Just thank you.
And this is Ruthie Jackson reminding you that history is as we live and do.